Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Movie 2 Polybag called Mini Master-Building MetalBeard set. It is set number 30528. It has 42 pieces and I paid $5 for this set. I got this from a local store near me at post-retirement. This set is from around the Lego Movie 2, so that puts it in 2019 and maybe 2018, 2019. And I haven't looked at many sets from the Lego Movie or the Lego Movie 2. This one seemed interesting to me because it's a 3-in-1. I don't believe for a polybag, I don't think all of the instructions are in here for all three models, but I'll probably look at all three of them in this video. And yeah, I paid $5 for this. It retailed for $5, 5 years ago. Getting it used probably less than $5. And sealed around $5 feels fair, so I was comfortable paying that for this. And so in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. And I don't know what I'm going to do first. I might do the two alternate builds first and then the main one, but we'll see. I guess I'll just do the main one first with the instructions that are in here, and then I'll switch to the other ones. So while I build, I'll speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review the first model from this set, and then I will take that apart, build the second model, talk about that briefly, take that apart, build a third model, and talk about that briefly. So while I do those things, enjoy, and until then, enjoy. Okay, while we look at the build for this the Lego Movie 2 Polybag Mini Master-Building MetalBeard, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. And now on to my thoughts, my review of the main model of this set. Okay, so that is the main build, the first build for this the Lego Movie 2 Polybag Mini Master-Building MetalBeard. And yeah, this is pretty cool here. I like it. It's almost like getting a minifigure, but also not really. If I remember, I don't know if I saw the Lego Movie 2. I saw the first Lego Movie several times in theaters, and several times since then, but I don't know if I saw the second one. And I was recently at, well, I guess a couple months ago, I was at Legoland in California, and I went on a ride that was based on the Lego Movie 2, I believe. But I'm not sure if that's what it was. But anyway, I think it's almost like getting a minifigure here, and this is like a minifigure person, but without the minifigure body or the minifigure legs, typically speaking. So this is pretty cool, and I definitely didn't have some of this here, and some of this stuff is pretty nice. So we can get right into this, and you do get a minifigure head, which is very cool. It has kind of an eye patch on there, which is like metal. It's got little rivets in it. Their mouth is a little bit covered up by their beard, but that's okay. They have some hair going around to the side, some other facial hair. They get this really cool accessory in this hat, which is like a pirate hat printed with like a skull and crossbones, but the crossbones are like wrenches, and the skull kind of looks like a it's like metal as well. So this is very, very cool. So that's a nice accessory. You also get this metal beard, which I think is a specialty piece only for sets that have metal beard in them. So it's kind of like a 2x2 plate, and then it has this whole molded front. Has a spot where the minifigure head sits in there, and you can kind of see it underneath here, and I don't know how easy it is to get the head out of there, but we just attach it like that. So that's a really interesting piece I don't think I've seen before. I don't believe I have any MetalBeard minifigures before this. When you start building it, you start with one of these angled kind of pieces here. Add the mixel ball joints on the back, add a clip on the front. We use some like axle plate pieces for the very tiny axles here. That's how we attach the arms, using these kind of like mech fingers, as well as these like clip pieces there. We do have what looks like, I don't know, maybe a telescope here and a sword there, so these can be moved up and down. The hands can kind of be swiveled a little bit, so that's good to get that. And then you kind of just build this up to get it kind of scaled right. So we use some of those hollow stud things, a 2x4 plate. We use this piece, which is really nice, sometimes used in vehicle builds and other stuff, but I always like to see that piece being used. We add on a bracket here on the back, which doesn't really get used in this main model, but maybe it will in the alternate models. We add this flag on the back, so it's just a, you know, the Technic pin with the ball joint there, and then in an antenna piece we put some of these wheel rims on there, a disc piece, and then the gold flag, which is nice. And then once all that is together, we add on the bottom leg parts here. So we have kind of this octagonal kind of piece with all the bar elements there. We use some brown mech fingers now, as well as the gold kind of barb elements all the way around to kind of make it look like it has, you know, 4 legs, almost walking like an insect or a spider, but not having 6 or 8 legs or something like that. But 4 legs going around here, and then we do have the wheel at the center, which can help for stability and whatever else. These legs can all kind of move individually here, so you can kind of articulate that. But this, and if you wanted to have like a couple of these up, I'm sure, you know, the wheel offers some stuff there. I don't know how useful it is. It might just maybe be more useful for some of the alternate builds, but it is nice that you can kind of get this and just kind of push this around, almost like it's moving on, you know, its own, or a little bit. It might help for the imagination, help for the play. I think that's pretty cool, but it can also just stand on its kind of legs here without the wheel touching the ground, something like that. So it can stand like that as well, which is very nice. Overall, I think this is pretty cool. It feels, it's like bulky for a minifigure, but as kind of like a minifigure plus, this seems really, really cool. And I'm a pretty solid fan of this. You know, if they sell minifigures for $5, collectible minifigures for $5, this feels great. This feels almost a little bit better than that. I know for collectible minifigures you get like more unique prints, detailed prints, accessories, different things like that, and that's all very good, but this has like a lot more bulk to it, more weight, easier to maybe play with. It's just very visually interesting. It still does have some specialized stuff like the MetalBeard and the hat there. I'm sure those come in other sets, whereas CMF stuff generally doesn't come in other sets. Occasionally it might though, but I think this is really good, and frankly I think this is a fair deal even just for this. And then you also get with these pieces 2 other builds, which really, like, it's like a Creator 3-in-1. It also feeds into this master building kind of thing that MetalBeard can just reconstruct themselves to fit their environment. So there's 2 alternate builds for this one, and that's this kind of tricycle here, a trike, and then there's one that's kind of a boat there. So I think that's really cool, and I'll be looking at those in a little bit. Show the extra pieces right now. These are just the pieces that are not used in this main model. They're just the extras. So the flame piece, the clip piece there with the bar, the barb, and the sword. And yeah, 42 pieces, $5, feels really good. I mean, I don't mind this at all. I'm perfectly happy with this. I did get this after it was retired. I'm glad it wasn't $7 or $8 or $10. I might even see people saying that that's worth it to them. I'm very happy to get this for $5, and I really like this, so that's really cool. And now I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to put together the trike build, and then I'll share my thoughts on that. And then after that, I will take the trike build apart and put together the boat build and share my thoughts on that. So while I disassemble and build, I'll speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to share my quick thoughts. So enjoy. Okay, while we look at the disassembly for the main model and while we look at the build for the alternate model here, I just wanted to remind people we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean a lot if people clicked the subscribe button. Thank you so much. And now on to my review for this alternate model. Okay, so here we have the alternate build called the Tricycle of this LEGO Movie 2 Polybag Mini Master-Building MetalBeard here. This is cool. There's some similarities to the main one, some differences. It does use fewer pieces, so the first thing we can look at here are the leftover pieces that were used in the main model but not used in this model. So we have 2 of the gold barbs, all 4 of these kind of brown mech finger pieces there, or maybe these are the older mech fingers. No, are these the newer ones? I don't remember. And then this kind of rounded plate with the clip or bar piece there. And the structure of this feels kind of similar, but is still a good bit different. We have, the MetalBeard hat, the face, and the metal beard part there. And it still kind of works in the same way. It's lower down, kind of more towards the front, but its position or its relation to this here is pretty similar. Below that we have 3 wheels, so we have the one with the rubber, which was in the middle of the or under the kind of body or the legs of the main model. We also use these 2 rims without rubber, which does that, and it actually has this kind of leaning back. It's almost like a reverse rake there or something like that, but I think that's pretty cool, and I'm surprised by how well it works here. I didn't know it was gonna, I thought it was gonna be like tip over too easily or anything like that, but it's pretty good. We do have the flagpole there, which is pretty much the same. It just doesn't have these rims on it at all. We do use a couple of the barbs here, just put in some hollow studs. We still use this. We still have the arms with the telescope and the sword there, but they are, further back than arms would typically be. And then we do use the bracket piece here to do some studs not on top stuff. We use that octagonal piece at the back, which I really like how it looks. Like you can just see these couple edges peering over there, which is cool. We use this gold weird piece there, and that's how we clip these on. And I think this is cool. I like how it leans back. It sits at an angle kind of like that. So it's like they're looking up or whatever, which is very cool. And it's just better than I thought it would be. It's a nice little toy. It's still like a minifigure. It still feels really, really cool to have this interact with other people, and the fact that I did kind of have to take it all the way apart to get into this configuration, but that's not that big of an issue. I mean, that's kind of what the joy of Lego is for many people, and I think is a big theme of the Lego movies is the idea of like adaptation and creativity and working with what you have to build something better than the sum of its parts and all that, and I think this does a pretty good job there. So I still think this is a really, really good, pretty fun little change up from that, and I think that's it. It used almost all the pieces. There are probably, these could have been clipped around here, and maybe they would be, well, I think they could have been, maybe not. I mean, at least one could have been. There might have been places to add a couple pieces here and there. I'm not really sure. Like the barbs could have been back here in these hollow studs, or even coming off the arm maybe. I don't know if this is, no, I guess probably not. But I'd like to think that there are places these could have been used, but they weren't and at all, and that's fine. That's sort of true for a lot of Creator 3-in-1s and other 3-in-1 sets and stuff like that. So this is pretty good, and now I am going to look at the final alternate build, which is like the boat, the ship, the sailboat pirate ship kind of thing. So while I disassemble this and while I build that last alternate model, I'll speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to give my quick and final thoughts on the alternate model and this set as a whole. So until then, enjoy. It's me again, and we're looking at the build. It's all sped up. This one's very, very quick. So now on to my review and my final thoughts of this set. Okay, and that is the last model for this Polybag here, this LEGO Movie 2 Mini Master-Building MetalBeard here. This is the ship model. This one uses the fewest pieces, so we could take a look at all the leftover pieces here that were used in the main model, but not used in this one. These are just the typical extra pieces that are light enough that LEGO throws in an extra. And we do not use any of the wheels or the these rims here or anything like that. We don't use the bigger plate here, don't use the bracket, we don't even use the sword. So there's a good amount of exclusions here. This one is by far the smallest, but it does maybe serve a different purpose here. The minifigure elements are the same, so I don't need to really get over those again, but I do like their position here. It does really help make this look kind of like a boat or the hull of a ship, or kind of just this general shape there, which is nice. The flag is pretty much the same through all three of these. The main one has these rims on it. You know, this one could have put these on there. I don't know if that would have looked weird or not, but that certainly was a possibility there. We don't have arms in the sense that in the same way that we did on the other models. We do use these brown and then the gold barbs there to kind of accentuate some of the structure and the curve of the back there, instead of just having the angle, which is the same at the front, where we have, that's a pretty sharp angle that wouldn't make sense for a ship, but this kind of really works nicely to round it out. So we do use the octagonal piece on the bottom. That also gives it a pretty sturdy base. I think when it was just on this piece, that I think it was a little bit back heavy, so it wasn't super stable, but now that it is, and then we do have kind of the arm up front, which helps with the shape, also holds the telescope there, and this can kind of be there, it can be pushed around, it can be whatever. If it is unbalanced, there maybe is a way to kind of adjust for that based on what angle this is at or whatever, and same for the part up front, so there's probably some leeway there. And this is my least favorite of the three. I still think it's pretty good, actually, because it's a minifigure with a buildable body that serves different purposes, and if this one's the seafaring one, that is fine, and I like that it's still kind of, it's not like super huge. I don't know, it feels almost like it still could be contained in like a minifigure thing. So like there are minifigures that add stuff onto them, like a Dr. Octopus minifigure or things like of that nature, where you, or even the Vulture one, where you add kind of a substantial build of an accessory for the minifigures. And this feels like it's kind of in line with that, but isn't like too much. So I still think this is really good. It might be my least favorite out of the three, but I do really like it. And I think it's fun and creative and nice. It also is like thematically similar, so it's kind of a pirate ship looking thing, which I think is very nice, and that's great. In terms of value, I kind of already talked about that with the main build, but because I got 2 alternate builds, 3 builds total, different iterations of this character in different forms, that definitely ups the value for me a bit. And I do love that Creator 3-in-1s and sometimes other, 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 sets have somewhat good value just based on the time spent with the pieces and the different models and all that stuff, which does correlate with value in my mind. Getting this for $5 years after it retired feels great, and I'm not too broken up about that at all, so I think I got a good deal. Extra pieces we already kind of talked about, leftover pieces we talked about, and yeah, I think this is really fun, really cool. So now I have to see if MetalBeard appears in other sets, or if there's other polybags from these or whatever. So yeah, very, very fun. Glad to have been able to look at this, and I like it. So great. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more polybags, more stuff from the Lego movies, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you wanted to support this channel, support my videos here, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. Those are a way of supporting the channel and supporting me by giving me money. So for those who are willing and able to, there's avenues for that are set up, and they are appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.